First of all, Harrison, you're a kicker, so you have one important part of your body and it's not your fucking brain.
Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. If you are new here, welcome. I appreciate you clicking on the video to watch it. And since you're here, I would love it if you would help me to grow this channel and hit that subscribe button now. And to those of you that are returning, welcome back. I truly do appreciate your continued support on my channel, and I hope that you are subscribed as well. So guys, I know that we have talked a lot about Harrison Butker's speech lately, and it's interesting because it was delivered like 10 days ago, but it is still creating waves online. And I mean, I thought the hysteria was bad when you supposedly misgender somebody who claims to be transgender, and we have all seen our share of those unhinged outbursts, but it has been absolutely fascinating to see the level of outrage coming, particularly from women, just by a man saying that men should be men and that there are women that might actually look forward to being wives and mothers one day. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would have liked to have seen this level of outrage when the Biden administration pretty much abolished Title IX and told men that they could use the word woman to access our private spaces, athletics, dorms, etc. But women pretty much either remained silent on that, and the ones who could be heard were actually celebrating it. And I think it's a strong indicator of how morally broken we are as a society when you see the response to something like, hey, men can use your private spaces and access your scholarships and opportunities, versus when you have a man here standing here saying that he loves his wife and he wants men to be masculine providers and that it's okay for women to look forward to being wives and mothers, and just the contrast in reactions to those kind of statements. But when it comes to what Harrison Butker specifically said in his speech, what leftists heard, what angry feminists heard, has been so deeply and intentionally misunderstood that it has really made all of their outright hysterical responses sound even more insane than usual, because they're addressing points that don't exist. They're responding to things that he did not say. So essentially, they're just pretty much yelling at the sky again. But at this point, I don't think that we would expect anything less. And of course, it comes as a shock to absolutely no one that one of the most unhinged, out-of-touch responses would come from the idol of eternal spinsterhood, loneliness, and misery, Chelsea Handler. And I mean, I am genuinely curious, is there anybody who still watches this woman? And if you do, why do you hate yourself? But since I had to live through the misfortune of hearing her embarrassingly poor attempt to own Harrison Butker and conservative traditional men and women in general, you have to hear it as well.
I have heard there's a man by the name of Harrison Butker who's talking more than I typically like for a male. He's a kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I learned that kickers rarely get tackled. So based on his misogynistic rant during a recent commencement address, I'm guessing this Bible thumper thumped himself a little too hard with his Bible and gave himself CTE.
Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world, and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker.
First of all, Harrison, you're a kicker, so you have one important part of your body and it's not your brain.
I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. Isabel's dream of having a career might not have come true, but if you asked her today if she has any regrets on her decision, she would laugh out loud without hesitation and say, heck no.
Isabel, please blink twice if you need us to call for help. But the real kicker is that Harrison Butker's mother is a renowned physicist who has a degree in chemistry and a master's in medical physics. So, who paid for all those youth athletic team fees and uniform fees and equipment fees when Harrison was a kid so he could grow up to have a career making millions of dollars for kicking things? My guess is a working woman. Harrison, this is the first time I've heard about you, and hopefully the last. And after this, I'm going to go ahead and do what your fellow teammate does and just pretend like you don't exist.
So the first thing I want to clear up is this use of the word misogynistic, because it means feeling, showing, or is characterized by hatred of or prejudice against women. So Ms. Handler, can you please point to where in this speech Harrison Butker showed any of that? I mean, the man could barely hold it together as he spoke about how much he loves his wife and treasures his family. And as I said in one of my previous videos, I think that so many women today, Chelsea Handler included, have absolutely no idea what it looks like when a man actually loves and respects a woman, because these are the same women who will have a man that they don't know over for the night to do whatever they want, and they expect absolutely nothing from him. So do you think that guy respects you? Do you think that that guy cares one bit about you as a person? What do you think his level of respect for women in general is if he's okay with using women like this, knowing he has to do exactly nothing for you in return? Yet you think Harrison Butker is the misogynist? No. The only thing that she can do is insult Harrison's intelligence, and I have seen this across the board, again, from angry feminist responses to this speech, yelling and screaming, name-calling, yet offering no coherent argument to dispute his words, just insults. And in my view, if the only thing that you have to show that you disagree with someone is to insult them, but can't articulate any reason why you disagree with them, then you are the one whose intelligence is lacking. He offered plenty of reasons as to why his own family is happy and why his wife is happy and why he is happy and why the women in the audience might also be happy if a family is something that they go for in the future. But Miss Handler, all you did was drop the F-bomb and move on. And lastly, I have seen so many angry feminists bring up this argument about Harrison Butker's mom being a renowned physicist with a degree in chemistry and who had a successful career in her field, as if they think that they are owning him and people who believe in traditional homes and values as hypocrites because they believe the lie that we don't believe in education and careers for women. We keep saying that this is not true, and we keep providing numerous examples of how this is not true. And it's funny because Chelsea and other angry feminists pointing this out are only providing an example themselves that this is something that we're not saying, or what Harrison is saying. We're only pointing to a direct contradiction to the thing you falsely believe. Clearly, we believe that women should get an education. Clearly, we respect women who pursue careers. Clearly, it is totally fine for women to want to do this, and nobody is trying to stop them. As he was raised by a mother who was highly respected in her field, yet she was also able to raise a son who values home and family. He never said women shouldn't have careers. He never said mothers shouldn't work. He never told women what to do. And as I pointed to a popular thread in one of my last videos, there were countless conservative women who came forward and talked about their education, their degrees, and their careers that they are proud of and love, while simultaneously holding the belief that your spouse, your kids, your home, and your family are the most important things above anything else. And all of the people that react this way, the way that Chelsea Handler is reacting, and everybody who is taking his speech completely the wrong way, are demonstrating that those things are not the most important things to them. And that's actually just really, really, really sad. The only people telling women what to do are women that react like this, the countless angry feminists that have come out of the woodwork and are still losing their mind, as I said, almost 2 weeks later, over the idea that some women might hear this speech and actually feel empowered to have families of their own. And it's mind-boggling to me because as much as these people claim to want to empower women, they clearly don't think that much of women because they're so worried that women are going to hear that being a wife and a mother is a good thing, that they're going to make that choice simply based on what they hear and not by actually thinking for themselves. So you clearly don't think that women are capable of making decisions based on what they want and what is important to them, and that you have to block this kind of messaging. Otherwise, it's going to steer them in a direction that they aren't capable of understanding. It's wild to me that so many women jump in like this and feel like they almost have to protect women from motherhood. Does that not seem bonkers to anybody else? Ultimately, I don't know why these women are freaking out so much and losing sleep over the idea that women are going to hear about the positive sides of being a wife and a mother, because unfortunately, feminist messaging is winning. We are seeing a large number of the next generation of young women believe that being a wife and a mother is oppressive and that they're going to miss out on their career if they engage in these things. We see all of these young women on TikTok glorifying being child-free and bragging about all the things that they can do because they're not responsible for anybody else but themselves. But what unfortunately is hitting these women far too late is the realization that women don't want to be wives and mothers because of what society has told them, but because it's actually part of their nature. And by the time they get to the the point where they realize this is actually something they want because of who they are, it is too late to have those things. And they realize the lies of feminism and the things that they have been led to believe have not served them in any way. And if these feminist women like Chelsea Handler, actually wanted women to have choices, they would allow women to hear the possibilities of what both sides look like for them. But I would love to hear all of your thoughts on this in the comments below. I promise we will talk about more things than just Harrison Butker soon. It's just crazy to me, like I said, that this is still going around social media and people are still flipping out this way. Please be sure to hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button. Keep it real, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.